So at the beginning of the year, Maxine was my most anticipated horror movie of 2024. And now that I've had a chance to see it, oh man, we've got a lot to talk about. All right, now this will be a spoiler-free review. So right off the bat in the movie, we're noticing Maxine is kind of hanging out with a similar crowd she did in X. And right off the bat as well, you're getting the feel of what Ty West is going for with his 80s aesthetic. This isn't going to be a movie where it's like that Stranger Things look to it, that kind of over-the-top, vibrant, bright kind of a feel to the 80s, where it's almost a little bit silly at times, just as far as the look of the movie goes. This movie, no, it's going to be a more realistic approach, which I really liked in the movie. It's just people are smoking. There's certain areas of Los Angeles that are just kind of dirty and run down and not really, polished like we see in a lot of movies where they try to portray the 80s, like I mentioned a second ago, and they make it kind of seem like a little bit, fantastical in a lot of ways. No, I thought this movie and Ty West did a fantastic job portraying what it would actually look like. Not only a big city just across America in general, but Los Angeles at the time. It's not all glamour and mansions. And then also the non-glamorous side of like just living in Los Angeles and also following a character like Maxine trying to just get by and trying to get her big break in the industry. And I can't lie, I'm not a smoker, but this movie kind of makes me want to smoke a cig in a drop-top Mercedes SL, which, by the way, one of the more iconic cars in a lot of classic movies, a car that's been in movies like Casino, Beverly Hills Cop, and American Gigolo in the intro to that movie. Just a great car and just gives off a hell of a just cool ass vibe to Maxine's character. Really quickly, I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to the newest patron, Hootie Dean, for early access to videos, commentary tracks to play alongside your favorite movies, movie watch along parties with me, and so many other things. Head over to Patreon where you can join for as little as $1 a month and help support the Madhouse. All right, I'll shut up now and we'll get back to the video. Now, I do think some folks will get a little bit confused on kind of the tone of this movie, and they'll walk away after watching this movie and think like, okay, that seemed like a little bit silly at moments and almost a little ridiculous. What kind of a feel are we going for here? And to me, I actually think Ty West nailed the tone of this movie because, like with X, of course, he's going for that Texas Chainsaw Massacre look and kind of feel to that movie. And in this movie, he's going for a very realistic 80s, like cop murder mystery type of a movie with some cheese to it, because those movies in the 80s definitely had some cheese to it, definitely had some moments where they're over the top. And I think in this movie, if you walk away with that perspective, then you'll think that Ty West nailed it, and I think he really did, in my opinion. Now, as far as the cast goes in this movie, I don't really have a big problem in this movie with them not putting a lot of effort into the character backstories for a lot of the other characters outside of Maxine. I think we still get enough with a lot of the characters where that's not really a problem for me. And this is also another area, along with the music, a lot of great music in this movie, which I'm sure they spent a lot of money on, but one of the other things that you'll notice, the big budget starts to show here with the cast. I mean, of course, you get the Baconator in this movie, Kevin Bacon as the private detective in this movie, and I just think he looks the part in this movie as that kind of sleazy private detective, just the right amount of sleaze, and just his entire kind of character timeline, his character story in this movie, I thought was great. Just how everything went down with his character. I thought it was really well done. And I'm a huge fan of Kevin Bacon just in general, of course. And now, as far as Mia Goth goes in this movie, of course, like she's incredible in this movie. Once again, does a really damn good job in this movie, definitely. Now, I wouldn't say this isn't quite like a Pearl type of performance, because in that movie, I felt like I was blown away. But it's still just about on that level, in my opinion, from Mia Goth in this movie. But like the cast overall is just really, really damn good across the board. I don't think there was a single person on this cast that kind of held the movie back a little bit or was like glaringly like a little bit iffy at times. No, I thought everybody was really, really good. I also thought Elizabeth Debicki plays this director in the movie. She plays a director named Elizabeth in the movie. I also thought she did a really good job. She was somebody that stood out to me and somebody that I want to see in more movies. I know she's had a lot of roles in the past, but looking forward to seeing her definitely in some more stuff. I probably butchered her name. Also, another thing in this movie is obviously I love movies. So I love any time they kind of pull back the curtain a little bit on Hollywood, how the productions work, some of the stuff, the whispers behind the scenes, some of the stuff with, people getting let go, people being casted for the movie, some of the talk between some of the actors, which obviously Ty West and the other people in the production literally work in Hollywood. So they have a pretty damn good idea on how some of this stuff works. So I thought that was great. Also, I'm sure that whole sequence at the Psycho set, I'm sure that was a wet dream for Ty West, like it would have been for me as well. So I'm sure he was like, the fact that I just get to put that in this movie, I don't care necessarily if it sort of really fits or not. I'm just going to do it because it's going to be really damn cool. And I thought that was a cool moment too. Just a fun little thing that I wanted to mention here. But I will say, of course, this movie has a whodunit aspect to it, right? The Night Stalker. The reveal at the end of the movie, I will say, is a criticism to me. Nothing surprising about the reveal here. There's nothing here that's going to necessarily shock you if you're familiar with the 3 movies in this trilogy. I'm not necessarily saying that it was bad, but if you're looking for some big twist or some big shocking reveal, you're not really going to get it. Now, I will say in this movie, I do wish there was a little bit more gore. Maybe I'm a sick bastard, but I do kind of wish there was a little bit more of a slasher feel. This is a little bit more of this cop murder mystery kind of a storyline here that we're going with, that Ty West is going here. I do wish there was a little bit more gore. Now, I will say, we do get just enough probably of those holy shit gore moments where the crowd, everybody in the audience is like, oh, damn, they just did that. You do get just enough of those to quench your thirst if you're a slasher fan, even though I do wish there was a little bit more of a slasher approach to this movie. Now, let's talk about the ending here for a minute. So there's some tense moments at the end of this movie. There's some moments where you're not sure who's going to live, who's going to die, who's going to show up next. Also interesting for a Ty West movie, there's a big moment that just feels like an action movie in a lot of ways. Also, I feel like at the end, Ty West really wraps up this is the overall tone of this movie. I think there's some sinister moments at the end. Also, the whole setting for the end of the movie feels so Hollywood, so LA, which is cool to me. There's also at the end of the movie some great moments with Maxine that really remind you why she's on this journey to not accept a life she does not deserve. But once again, with Maxine, like with the other 2 movies in this trilogy, you can just feel Ty West's passion for the genre. You can feel every frame, every word in the script is intentional, has a thought process behind it. They're not trying to do things that are too cliche or too overdone or not well thought out. You can feel just everything is so intentional. I just think that's the perfect word for what Ty West does and what he's done in this trilogy. So, my final verdict on Maxine, really enjoyed it. I did. I really enjoyed it. Had a great time with it. Looking forward to seeing it again. I think it was a unique blend of different genres, almost like Beverly Hills Cop feel to it, murder mystery, and then you get some slasher stuff. I thought the way Ty West, like I said earlier, portrayed the 80s, loved that. It felt very realistic, very gritty, showed the glamour and also the non-glamorous side of the city. Yeah, I just had a really damn good time with Maxine. So far, Maxine is my favorite horror movie of the year. We'll see what happens with the rest of the releases that are coming out. So far, I am pretty damn satisfied. Obviously, it was my most anticipated movie, horror movie of the year. So pretty satisfied with it. Looking forward to seeing it again. If I see it again, will it go down a little bit for me? Maybe. Will it go up for me? I don't know. There's just so many things that you'll pick up in a second rewatch when you're not trying to pay attention to the big stuff. You can focus more on the little nuances and things like that, which I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching my thoughts, my review on Maxine. Let me know down in the comments down below if you've seen it, what you think about it. Make sure you subscribe as well because I'll have a full X Trilogy review ranking coming out very soon as well. So you want to subscribe so you don't miss that video. Check out one of these videos next to me though if you want some more content from me right now. But thanks everybody for watching and I'll see you in the next one.